Hello everyone, welcome to Frontline Conversations. Today we are going to talk about the Bhim song. In last some years, anti-caste movement in India has found voice in its songs. Anti-caste songs are getting popular, rightly claiming their place in the world of music as well as politics and socio-cultural changes. So, but in Maharashtra, these songs were being sung for last 100 plus years. They started with Mahatma Phule starting his Phule Jalsa, that is called Satya Shodhaki Jalsa, in 1890s. And after that, after the rise of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, these songs turned as Ambedkarite songs, Bhim Gite, Bhim songs that is in Bhim Gite in Marathi. And they are getting popular day after day, year after year, and now become a uh, very instrument to, to bring the change in society, to impact the society politically, culturally, socially. So, Professor Chandrakant Kamble, assistant professor in Amity University, is a researcher on these Bhim songs and have written multiple articles about the tradition of Bhim songs and impact of Bhim songs in Maharashtra's socio-political atmosphere. So, Professor Kamble, welcome to Frontline interview. My first question: how these Bhim songs have impacted Maharashtra's socio-political culture for over a century now?
Okay, hello, Ame. Thank you for inviting me. It's a uniqueness of Ambedkarite movement that from the beginning of Ambedkarite movement, we have a cultural aspect in the movement because during the Ambedkar era, we have many jalsas. As you mentioned, there was Satya Shodhaki Jalsa, which is they are talking about the truth of the socio-political, cultural, and they have a main focus on the aware the illiterate, uneducated, untouchable peoples. The similarly that platform, Ambedkar's some activists like N.T. Bansode and Haribhau Torne and Bhimrao Kardak, many others, they have adopted Jalsa, Satyashuddhaki Jalsa as Ambedkarite thought, right? So it was in Ambedkar's era as well as the post Ambedkarite era, we have a Jalsa platforms to the educate the people and reach out the Ambedkar thought to uneducated, illiterate, and untouchable peoples, those who are from rural area. So it's a very unique and uh, very significant movement and role in the Ambedkarite movements.
You sir mentioned about first Satya Shodhaki Jalsa, then that became Ambedkari Jalsa. Right now, it is very much popular. We see every time on 14th April, the people releasing new songs across Maharashtra. So, what are the trends right now in that Ambedkari Jalsa?
So interesting. As we had a discussion about the how Satyashodhaki Jalsa as well as the Ambedkarite Jalsa converted in the Bhim song. So Satyashodhaki Jalsa, it's a standing performance. It is a standing performance. But the Ambedkarite artists, they have a legacy of art. Somehow they are believing in God and they were singing of God is his song and God songs, but that artistic arts converted in the progressive thought and Ambedkar's teaching and the Bahujan Nayakar's teaching, and they suddenly shifted here and they starting to singing Ambedkar's song and his life and his education and struggle and about the constitutional values and about the human rights and Dalit rights and gender, even the woman empowerment and all these kind of human values, they are suddenly adapted and they started to speaking their own languages to the using the impactful tool as a song as a art, and they come up with this as a Bhim song. And post Ambedkar, so there was a huge gap of Dalit leadership. So I would say that gap has filled up through the Ambedkarite music,
Yeah.
because post Ambedkarite era, there was no leader who can become a voice of Dalit and voice of voiceless, but that these kind of songs have reached in the voiceless people, neglected and excluded people, and they aware about they aware about the education, they aware about their rights, and that is huge impact on the contemporary society. We have a successful result.
Professor, I would like to ask you, give us few names who are young artists below 35 or something like 35 around, and they are making history in Ambedkarite song, in Beam songs right now in Maharashtra.
Okay, there are many artists, which is even though the we have a Shinde Shahi Gharana, Utkar Shinde, Adar Shinde, they are very popular and famous in not only the Ambedkarite and Bhim song, as well as the mainstream Marathi songs, right? As well as in particularly Jalsa, the Sheetal Sate, Sachin Mali, even Rahul Sate, and the other many Santosh Jondre, other many, even the Koduvai Kharad, and many popular singers are there. They are singing songs, they are writing, they are talking, and they try to become a voice of voiceless.
And which kind of forms they are using, like Shahiri, Qawwali, or even Ghazal. So, which kind of forms they are using to convey their message?
Okay, it's interesting question. Throughout the Ambedkarite musical movement, we will find out all kind of forms and genre Ambedkarite artist has used. The Povada, Gun, Gaulan, Bhupali, as well as some folk art forms like Palna and Qawwali, Ghazal, even though the Sufi music has a huge influence on the Ambedkarite music. So even though that Qawwali, as well as even though Ghazal, and even though the Sugam Sangeet, light classical, and even that classical, core classical music, as well as the many artists are there. Even though I would share with you, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Maratha University's professor, Dr. Sanjay Mahad, he has projected one classical Ambedkarite music called Geet Bhimayan,
Wow.
and there were many classical singers like Kavita Krishnamurti, Hari Haran, Suresh Wadkar, Bela Sende, and many others. They sing songs written by the famous Ambedkarite lyrics Vaman Dada Karda.
This there is one question that these young artists, as you mentioned, many names from Kavita Krishnamurti to Bela Shinde, and even some artists who are from Shinde's family, Utkarsh and Adesh. So, are they getting success to drive Dr. Ambedkar's message to the masses? You think so? Are they getting success?
I think yes,
Yeah.
because uh, Ambedkarite artist is not just artist. So before art, you have to adopt. You have to read the Ambedkar. You have to read the philosophy. You have to adopt the philosophy. Understand the Ambedkar thoughts and teaching. Then, through your understanding about the Ambedkar and his ideology, Phule and his ideology, and other Phule Shah Ambedkarite ideology, you have to adopt first. You have to read it, many books and articles. Then you can understand, and through your understanding, you have to write songs, and then it is the process of understanding. This is the part of study. It's just not a artist. Before that, you have to be a good reader, and then you have to write songs.
Yeah.
And I think the mainstream and as well as the contemporary Indian society, specifically the Maharashtra, the many newcomers, new singers, writers, raising, and they are getting huge popularity on the new platform like social media. They are creating their own social media channels, and they have in the millions reach out. The people are loving them, people are liking.
I have this question. Are these songs really helping Ambedkarite movements? Because as you said, after Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's day, we have seen that there was a vacuum, and that vacuum was filled by these Jalsas. Then there was a Dalit Panther movement, again the based on literature, the rebellion in literature. But currently, do you see that these hugely popular Ambedkarite songs are they really helping Ambedkarite movement politically?
I would say ki Ambedkarite music, even though Phule Ambedkarite Jalsa and Bhim songs are alternative cultural politics. This
Okay.
is the alternative culture that Ambedkarite artist has produced,
Mhm.
has uh, providing the alternative options instead of traditional culture, because there was no open door to this community. So they have created their own cultures, they have created their own godfathers, and they have their culture, ideologies and their pathway,
Mhm.
right? So this is very important कि Ambedkarite thoughts they are carrying properly, and non-Dalit community also these thoughts are adopting. Non-Dalit community, non-Dalits, many people are listening the Ambedkarite song, and which is a very significant and very positive symptoms of the diverse society.
Political popularity right now in terms of vote bank politics. So these songs are making Ambedkar into a god, the another god, and somehow his message of rationality is missing. How do you see the entire picture?
Interesting. Ambedkarite people don't believe in a God, but for them, Ambedkar is a godfather.
Hmm.
So, the as I mentioned, Ambedkarite artists they need to read Ambedkar, then they can write, right? So, uh, it's not like that ki they are devoting Ambedkar, they are just uh, praying Ambedkar, they are treating as a god. It's not like that. So I would say ki there is a one another one rasa has created, like I can say this is
Yeah.
abhar ras. So the Ambedkarite people
Gratitude.
they are,
Gratitude, basically, you want to
yeah,
say.
yeah, gratitude, they are express their gratitude towards Ambedkars,
Hmm.
right? This is the kind of emotions towards Ambedkar. It is not like god and uh, goddess.
And what kind of other experiments these artists are following right now? How do you see that?
Okay, this Phule Ambedkarite Jalsa, it is not limited. Nowadays, it's not limited in the Maharashtra, but it has spread across the India. Like I would say, Gini Mahi is the popular singer from Punjab. She has program in Germany and other countries. She is a very famous singer from North India as well as in Gujarati, Rajasthan, in Himachal Pradesh, even though Odisha and MP in UP, as well as Bihar. In Bhojpuri language, there are many singers and songs they are writing, they are producing. Even though I would like to mention the popular South Indian film director Pa Ranjit. He is the one of the most influenced director from South. He has one band named Casteless Band.
Mhm.
So that through the band, he is singing the anti-caste songs to aware the people, to educate the people. and these are very impactful on the contemporary socio-political cultural aspect.
I would also like to ask about these songs being now sung in various movements. Like there is a mangrove protest going on in Mumbai, and we can hear Bhim songs, the sounds of resistance being sung in mangrove movement. Then there is an environment movement going on in Kokar. So you think that these songs, the sounds of some sounds of resistance, are now going beyond so-called Dalit politics and now getting larger politics of with a larger politics of resistance. Are they getting familiar with the larger politics of resistance?
Of course, because as I mentioned, initially the Phule show Ambedkarite Jalsa and Bhim song was limited to the Dalit community. But
Hmm.
now, when we overview the Ambedkarite musical journey, so I would say Sampradaya as well as the adapted the Ambedkarite music. They are singing the Ambedkarite song in their kirtan and their programs. Even
Yeah.
though I would say Satyapal Maharaj and this Tushar Survenshi and many others, they are singing Ambedkarite song as well as in the larger context, the Bahujan Samaj as well as we can say the OBC
Hmm.
community also adopting this kind of things,
Hmm.
and they are too much coming towards the Ambedkarite thoughts.
And where do you see these songs need to improve? The singers, the lyricists, and all. Where do you see they need to improve to reach more to the more people? That is the first thing, and also as the quality of the song, as a literature, as a music.
Okay, interesting. Because the new generation, they are using the new genres like rap, hip hop, and the fusion. So they are creating these kind of things, even though they are adapting the old song and they are using the westernized instrument with them, and they are trying to create the remake and these kind of things happening in contemporary era. But as well as the many singers and music composers, they are trying to produce new songs. The historical overview of the Ambedkarite music, it was only about the Ambedkar's journey, his education, his struggle, his fight, and human rights values. But now the contemporary Ambedkarite artists, they are adopting the constitutional values in their songs and in their musics. So that is very unique. That I noticed, and I don't think there is any improvement. So they are adopting the Ambedkar as well as the mainstream society as well as welcoming these kind of songs and adopting. So which is a very good sign for the society.
And Professor, my last question: as we are right now living in a very majoritarian era, where democratic principles are being bulldozed, challenged every single day, mostly by the government elected itself. So, how do you see Ambedkarite songs are resisting this? How do you see Ambedkarite songs are inspiring people to resist?
Okay, interesting. Even though I would like to mention here, Sambhaji Bhagat is the one of the very important Jalsakar. Phule
Hmm.
Ambedkarite Jalsakar. He
Hmm.
sing a song in IITs and central universities and colleges and campuses. Organized program front of the young audiences, right? So he's try to uh, uh, teach them the constitutional values instead of the fundamentalists,
Hmm.
right? So this is the platform, this is the platform to express yourself. As per the Indian constitution, we have a freedom of expression, and that is the one of the form to express yourself. And I don't think throughout the songs we don't have any incident to you can't song this kind of song, and it's not like that. So people are writing their own thoughts through the songs, and they are try to speak their thoughts through the musical forms.
So thank you so much, Professor Kamble, for joining us and giving us an idea about what exactly is going on right now in Ambedkarite music, Ambedkarite Jalsas, and also Bhim song. Thank you.
Thank you for uniting me. Thank you so much.